Good afternoon, everybody. How is everyone? Stop that playing, Andrew. Stop it. Good, good. How's everyone today? All could join us. A little bit of a late one getting this I know there's no memory card, and
woo,
there is Louise.
See, bad noise, loud static. Sorry, guys. Okay, should be good now.
Should be good to go.
Sorry.
Excuse what's on the screen. A little bit of a rush this afternoon. So yes, we've been away for the weekend. Got back about 2:30 this afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a rush to get in. So many thanks for that, and apologies for that. There we go. Good.
Sorry and thanks.
Sorry and thanks. Good. So what have we been up to this past week? I just don't know where the week's going. They have absolutely flown by.
It's March.
It is March. It is March already. So what's happened, Lou? Business-wise, anything?
Not really. I don't think so.
No, you're still practicing your GRS gravers engraving,
Yes.
doing your star settings. You had some
Yeah.
good sales from that.
Yeah, that's been really, really good. A couple of nice commissions, and I love that. I had a lady who wanted some stars engraved on a pendant for her 4 grandchildren. And it's just lovely, isn't it? And there was another
That's
lady
nice.
who wanted a shooting star in memory of her husband, her late husband. And on the way home from the funeral, her and her son saw a shooting star. So she said, I'd like one of your shooting stars.
That's nice.
It's so lovely, yeah.
That
And
is lovely.
I love doing it. And just sorry I wasn't there on the weekend to hand it over to her. But yeah, I'm told she was very pleased with it.
Oh, that's
So yeah, I love doing it.
That is nice, isn't it?
Such an honour, isn't it?
It is to be part of that and for them to have that around their neck in memory of loved ones, yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
I am going to say I have got Tool of the Week.
And I'm still waiting on a jingle.
Well, I think you should sing something.
I should. I'm waiting.
Since you didn't get the jingle ready.
I am waiting for the jingle to come through. We're having that produced for us as well, but that hasn't come through yet. So yes, so Louise is here.
Would you like to
us...
see the Tool of the Week?
Shall I sing the Tool of the Week? Shall I sing the Tool of the Week?
Go on then.
Hang on a second. I'm not quite sure which one it is.
Oh, Sarah, no, I did take one picture, actually. I took a picture of the one with the 4 stars.
Shall I sing my Tool
Go
of the
on
Week?
then, sing your song.
I'm not quite sure if this is what it's going to be. It's basically going to be Tool of the Week, oh feel that shine. Tool of the Week, precision divine. Cut it, shape it, make it unique. At the bench, Tool of the Week. Tool of the Week, let's turn up the heat. Tool of the Week, can't beat that beat. From raw to refined, technique on repeat. At the bench, Tool of the Week. Do you like that?
That was extraordinary. I'm just glad you didn't put your cap on backwards to sing it. Do you want to know? Do you want to know? Should we just move on? I'll tell you what the Tool of the Week is.
Go on, what's the Tool of the Week this week?
Okay, the Tool of the Week is this thing. I'll pass it to you.
Thank you.
So these are they're on the At the Bench store. They are the frosting wheels.
This is the large version of what we've got. We don't have this size. what we've
don't
got
we?
at the slightly smaller
Do you know
size.
what though? I think I would prefer a smaller size because last week I did cut my finger on it. They are sharp.
Yes.
Well, they're roughing up metal, aren't they? So they're
Of
going to be.
course.
But it's only once I've just caught my finger on it. Eye protection is utterly essential. So this, I've done some examples actually. So this is one I literally made earlier, but I am going to do some engraving on it. So I think personally the best way to show off a texture is to pit it against its complete opposite. So I really, really love doing a frosted or a matte texture against, I'm going to say a highly polished, but it's not highly polished because I've really rushed it to get it ready to show you. But the inside is polished and the edges are polished, and it just kind of like makes the texture, well, it doesn't make the texture pop, it makes the polished areas pop.
Yes.
And likewise with this one, Sarah wanted to see my style. So this is one I made last week.
In true Blue Peter style.
Yeah, a little bit wider. So that one, it was just completely smooth metal. The gold one I hammered, so I did a hammer texture on it to kind of make it look a bit aged. But the silver one, I've just kept the surface smooth, and the crinkly edges I did with an Eve cool grinder. But then obviously you've got a little bit of metal wastage there, haven't you? Because you're grinding off metal and you're taking away metal. And as I was doing it, I was thinking, this is terribly inefficient. So when I did my little gold version, I hammered the band before I formed it. So it kind of gave me that same similar effect on the edges in it. But it's kind of given the surface a different
Yes, it has,
look as
isn't
that.
it?
It's kind of given it a more aged look. So I don't know what that's going to look when I put the stars on it.
So you put the stars on the silver one, but you haven't put the stars on the
No,
gold
but I think
one.
I am going to. But
I think so. That'd
but
be
you
nice.
can demonstrate the little wheel if you want, and on the gold one.
It's cool, isn't it?
Because I think I've gone a bit too fast with it, and obviously eye protection is a must. I think I've already said that, haven't I?
Yes.
But if you want to show the.
I do have it.
And I do have to say thanks to Linda for suggesting Tulu. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea. So Linda, I'm going to send you a set of the frosting wheels as a thank you for your brilliant idea.
And I'm just...
So if you email me your address, I will get them out to you in the next few days.
So we have got this frosting wheel, as you can see here, and this is a plain bit of brass. And what we've got to do is, these are slightly bigger than what we sell in the store. We sell the slightly smaller ones. We sell 4 different grades. There's not an awful lot of difference between the grades, or if you want to call them. If you want a nice texture that you can see, I would go for the rough ones. I'm not quite sure.
Is that not the rough one? What have I got there? The green one is...
There's no green one there. So choose an option.
Okay. So red is very fine. I mean, I like
Go for the course, the grey.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is...
But it's interesting how that one's given... I used the same wheel on the silver and the gold. Maybe it's because I hammered the gold as well, but it's given a different look, isn't it?
Yes.
But I do still like that sort of aged, crinkly... Oh, God, you can see the seam on that, can't you?
Yeah, you've got... brass is not a good example, really, but as you can see, it just gives a matte... That's not very good either. But just gives a very matte sort of finish. Just wondering whether I got anything in here to show you very, very quickly. I've then got copper and brass. Let's try again, shall we? Let's try on here. Yeah, it doesn't really show up too much.
And do you know what? How nice are they stacked as well?
How much what?
How nice are they stacked?
They do give a random finish. Yes. Good.
So that's the tool of the week.
Tool of the week. Texture wheels. I'll pass that back to you so we don't lose that. Thank you.
I need that. Thank you.
Good. Excellent.
Good. Okay. Oh, I've just realised I'm not on the chat.
Live chat, top chat. Good. So there we go. That's what we are going to be doing. We're going to be showing a little tool each week. Thank you. Let's have some coffee. So there. Good. Excellent. Louise, anything else?
What is the speed of use on that?
I think no more than, it's got to go at quite slow speed. It's hard to say, 2,000 revs perhaps, no more. You get a chance, obviously, that those little pins may come off and hit you. So eye protection is a must with anything like that.
I think consistent as well, because I've noticed
consistent pressure,
but consistent speed, because if you change the speed, it gives you a different.
It will, yes.
Yeah.
The faster the speed, the finer the texture.
Yeah, and if you kind of get a little bit of an inconsistent finish.
Yes.
If you change the speed and pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. There we are. So great. Have a look at them, because it's a great way to just make something quite plain just a little bit more, I don't know.
A bit more exciting.
Yeah, just give it a bit more of a...
Exactly. And one quick thing before I forget. Next Monday, we are not going to be here for a Q&A. It's the GC and DC Awards in London. I'm going up to be helping the awards ceremony. So we're not going to be here for a Q&A, I'm afraid, next Monday. We are in London at the GC and DC Awards that are being held in the Merchant Taylors Hall in Threadneedle Street. Quite good in Threadneedle Street. Yeah, Merchant Taylors Hall in London. So yes, there's no Q&A next Monday. Good.
Good. Okay.
Should we have a question,
Louise?
As it is Monday. It is the 2nd of March. It's my birthday this month. And thank you to everybody who has ordered my book as well. So thank you very much. That's due out.
Written a book, have you? I've never mentioned it.
Have I said I've written a book? That's due out. I've got my pre-ordered, my one copy. The rest of the orders should be in April. So as soon as they come into us, everybody who has pre-ordered it will have their copy as soon as the shipment arrives with us. It'll be going out. Fingers crossed, you'll be having that before anybody else. That's all I can say.
Okay,
good. Do you have a question?
Good. Yep. Ina says, I ordered mops for my polishing motor. They don't seem to have threads, if that's the correct term. Is that as it should be?
Don't understand mops.
Threads as in to go on your... Is it for a bench, a tabletop polishing?
Yeah.
Is it a tabletop polisher?
Yeah, mops
or is
don't come. Yeah, mops don't come. Oops, wrong one. Mops don't come with threads. Mops just come bare with a hole. That if you have a bench-mounted polisher motor, you should have the little spirals on the end, so the mops attach onto the spindles are tapered.
Piggy tails, you call them.
I call them piggy tails. Yes, they are. And in fact, let me just quickly turn Louise's camera around so you can see what I mean. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, get some Dettol wipes. Wow. So let's just come a bit wider on here. So we've got, here we go, this one here. No, this one by here. So here we go. This is a mop, as you can see. And as you can see, it does not come with anything. It comes like that, okay, with a hole. Usually one side of the hole is bigger than the other. Put the big hole onto the tapered spindle. These are what I call piggy tails. They are mounted upon the spindle of the polisher motor, and as they are threaded, as the bench mounted polisher motor turns, they become tight. And likewise on this one here, as you can see, there we go. We've got this one, and we can undo this one again. Opposite thread on this one again. We got the big hole, thin hole, that goes on, and as the motor then spins, it will become tightened upon the spindle. So there we go. So they do not come with anything else. Turn this round back onto, don't crikey Moses, the lovely Louise. I'm breaking my cameras here.
Okay.
How's that? Good.
I'm wonky.
Are you wonky, Louise?
I'm really wonky. Do you have another question while you're unwonking me?
I can't seem to unwonk you, Louise. Ah, here we go. I'm just looking. Oh, no wonder my legs.
I can just.
My legs are collapsing.
I can just sit like this.
My legs are collapsing. There we go. How's that?
Yeah,
Good.
that's fine.
Okay. Excellent.
Good.
Let's have another question then, Maria. Oh, you're still wonky.
Wonder if you present the metal to the brush would give better control, i.e. mount the brush in a fixed speed motor. The frosting wheel.
I don't know. There we go. There's Louise.
Good. Oh, Penny says, happy birthday.
I've got 2 weeks to go, yeah?
Milking it now, yeah.
I'm milking it. I got 2 weeks to go, but thank you.
Helena says, there is a dearth of sterling silver brooch backs with revolver clasps for sale in the UK. Assay officers will understandably not accept silver plated ones, and I hate making my own. Rant over, yeah.
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 I think too many people now rely upon places like Cookson. They shouldn't rely totally on one place. I notice Cookson don't sell figure-of-8 tubes with the wires at all. So this is the thing. But we found out that curtis.co.uk do sell, I'll say, a better quality of findings than Cookson do. We bought the figure-of-8s from Curtis far cheaper than Cookson ever sold them. So it's worthwhile trying to get an account with curtis.co.uk. They make chain. Oh, I had the, okay. But yeah, so check that out. Definitely check out other suppliers. Cookson isn't the be all and end all. Yes, Lou.
Okay, good. Gillian says, how do we confirm you've got the message to personalise our book before you post it? You can email me and I'll just double check for you if anybody is, that's fine, not a problem. Penny says, mine always fall off. I haven't used it for a long time. I'm moving into my newly converted studio. Ooh, and we'll try again. Cool.
Good.
Justin, I've got the grey one in the basket. How long have you been practicing engraving, Louise? I just missed how you got the edge of your gold ring. Do you mind explaining again? No, don't mind at all. When did I start? After Christmas?
Yeah, it's only been 2 months.
It's been 2 months, but I've been like evenings, early mornings. I've been here pretty much every Sunday I've had free, haven't I? So I kind of, that's all I can do is stars. Can't do anything else. So
you can star. You can star set.
I can star set, and
Stones.
I can do. But I just love. I'm obsessed with just engraving stars. I love it. I just can't get enough of it, especially on like a textured background. I just think it's so pretty. I just like doing it. So yeah, probably 2 months, but I've been practicing quite intensively. Yeah. So the edges of the silver, the wide one, I used an Eve cool grinder. Yep. So it's like that's a grinding wheel, isn't it? That stays cool.
It's a heatless grinding wheel.
So I think they're in the store as well, aren't they?
Yes.
The only drawback is it takes metal away and turns it to dust, which is not terribly. If you're de-spruing, great for de-spruing. They're amazing for lots of things. But I like to use them to get this wibbly texture, and then obviously the metal surface stays nice and smooth. And then you can just kind of like go over it with a sanding drum and but you can control then how wibbly you want it.
How wibbly you want it.
How wibbly you want the edge. So then I just highly polish. And I flared that out a little bit as well, just with the doming punch. I just whacked the edges with a doming punch, flared it slightly, just to accentuate the contrast of the polished edges with the frosted. And that worked quite well. So the gold one I literally just hammered and it's wibbled the edges by default, but then the surface is also a bit wibbly, but I've tried to kind of smooth it off to make it just look hopefully a little bit bashed and aged.
So you used a ball peen hammer for the edge, and then you just carried on with the ball peen hammer all over the piece. But as you came close to the edge, obviously by hitting the edge it squashed it and it's flared it out slightly.
I did try a brain think ball thing that you
ball punch.
But it's too narrow to really flare, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, to flare the edges.
So it didn't really flare, but it does look. It's got the bashed and aged look. So I'm interested to see how that's going to look now when I engrave the stars on, because it's going to be contrast between something that looks quite kind of like old and rough, and then hopefully nice and orderly and Yeah, so I'll...
It'd be good, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
Experiment, have fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's not long, but I have been like all day on a Sunday, and I just really wanted to do it. So yeah, spent quite a bit of time.
And it is worthwhile if you are interested going on a course as well, going on some instruction. Definitely, if you want to get into not necessarily engraving letters, that sort of thing, but anything to do with using gravers or the Graver Mac or the Graversmith from GRS. It's definitely worthwhile going on some sort of course to be able to learn how to do it and use it.
Is there any, is there any with
the Birmingham School of Jewellery will do it. Harry will do it. Harry Forster Stringer will do it. He's an awesome engraver. Harry will do it in, that's the Birmingham School of Jewellery.
Is that like a short course?
Yeah, a short course, that would be, so just look at things like that.
Is that just engraving?
That's just engraving, yes. And I know there are a couple of other people who will do courses. I'm not quite sure who they are, but you can search for things like that. But people are out there who will teach you to do it, yes.
I just love sitting there and having my hands clean and just, like, it's just quite meditative, isn't it? It's just, you can't rush it, you can't... It takes as long as it... I mean, like, you should apply that to everything, I know, but, like, yeah.
And it's the smallest of movements, so you're not having to do all this.
Yeah.
It's literally
just comfortable,
the smallest.
Looking, and you're just literally in your own little world.
In the moment, aren't you?
Of stars.
Of stars, yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Definitely.
Andrew says, what's the general metal used as the base metal for jewellery that is destined for plating, and can it be adjusted and soldered with silver solder?
You see things like rolled gold metal core. I don't think there is a specific metal that they use that is universal. I think it is just a base metal, whether that be, I don't know, brass. I don't think it's copper. It could be brass, it could be zinc. I'm not quite sure what that base metal would be. The problem is once the piece has been made, you've got to be careful, especially if you have things like gold filled. You can try and solder it, which wouldn't be a problem. You'd have a problem if you tried then to file it or you tried to buff it, because you're going to be getting rid of the metal on the surface. If you try and stretch a rolled gold ring or a gold, is it vermeil ring, it's a plating, it's going to come off when you polish it. So basically, once you've got the metal and you've soldered it, it's going to be very difficult to polish it. It's not a great fix, is it really? That's the thing.
It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah.
Gold-filled wire, to make things like jump rings, not a problem. But to use gold-filled metal to try and use for construction, I think is very, very difficult to do because the plating will come off, yes.
Okay. Susan says, yes, the frosting wheel. Can you mount it on something and apply the metal to that rather than apply the frosting wheel to the metal?
Yeah, you can do, yeah. You can try and, you can usually get these little attachments to fasten onto your bench mounted polishing motor that will accept 2.35mm spindles. Yes, you can use that, and obviously then that will be a constant speed. Then you've got to rely upon the pressure of your piece of metal upon that rotating frosting wheel, and again it's the pressure that will affect how that will look. Yeah. Good.
Ina says, I thought they have to have something inside to screw on the piggy tail, the mops.
No, it's
just screw them on nice and tight.
Yeah, it is physically the fabric. When they're made, there's a small little hole, and it is just purely the resistance of the fabric going onto the mop that keeps it upon those tapered spindles. There is, on some of them, as you probably saw on the Rouge mop, that was the second mop that I showed you, there's some leather. If you find that if the cotton or the material is a soft, especially like that's a swan's down, so that's like a soft cotton, there usually is not enough resistance within the fabric, so that's the reason why they put those leather circles on to provide the resistance upon the pigtails. If it's a calico mop, sometimes they don't. If it's a felt mop, sometimes they don't put anything, because the resistance of the fabric is sufficient enough to hold it upon the pigtails, the tapered spindles. Yeah.
Good. Penny says, I always use Curtis for my chains, which they make to my spec. I didn't know they did that.
Different lengths.
Different. Okay, yeah.
Lifting lengths and different configurations of like extended chains. Or
they are great, aren't they? And they do plating.
And they do plating as well. They do
plating, which a lot of people don't know, but they do my plating for one of my pendants that I make. Yeah, yes. It's great. John said there are some cracking small suppliers out there. I am a big fan of Curious Gem. Yeah, me too. I love Curious Gem.
I like Curious Gem, do you?
Yeah, I really do. And it says, thank you, Andrew. I had tried all of the finding supplies in the UK and had despaired of finding 25mm ones.
Yes.
Justin. Oh, thank you, Justin. Yeah, I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thank you, Tanya. What is the website address for Curtis SP, the finding supplier alternative to Cookson's?
Curtis.
Is Curtis spelt Curteis?
Yes.
Curteis?
So it's Curteis.co.uk. That's an E. That's Curteis.co.uk. I think you've got to have an account with them. I don't think you're going to be able to sort of pay with a credit card. You've got to have an account with them. But they are the leading country's leading supplier of chains. And
they're lovely people.
We were very lucky to have sat on the same table at the Nadja Awards, weren't they? Lovely people,
yeah,
yes.
Really, really nice.
Good.
Fab. Justin says, what thickness gold sheet did you use? Love the gold. Thank you. I used, it was 1.1 by the time I hammered it, so I guess you could go with 1.3, 1.4.
Yeah, it varies in places. It varies. Yeah. It comes down to 0.99 where you've hammered it, and it goes to 1.1, 1.14, 1.12, 1.15.
Would you just take an average then of maybe like half a dozen different spots on the ring, and then take an average of that?
Yeah, I'd say
to size it.
1.14, this one, so you can get away with...
Before hammering?
Before. I would say 1 mil, 1.1 mil.
Yeah.
Or 1 mil, and make it a little bit lighter. Because
it could be thinner, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool, it's good. And then obviously then in the UK you have to have it hallmarked if you're going to sell it as gold. But that's the end of the story.
Good. Tim says, do you have any tips for working cloisonné with sterling and enamels?
We don't.
We don't, no. It's one thing I really do want to spend some time learning.
But later this year, we do have an enamelling workshop coming up, don't we?
Cool, yeah.
We do. So that'll be later on in the year. But yeah, we have a local enameller that we've been in contact with, and they will be coming up and we'll be doing an enamelling workshop. So hopefully we'll have all the hints and tips that you could possibly have then.
Lord Mark says, needing a course for every tool or different aspect of jewellery is unheard of for old jewellers. Every tool. Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's new stuff coming out all the time and so rapidly, and I think these courses are great for getting the most out of what you're investing a lot of money in.
Oh yes.
So because when you buy new tools and equipment, it's not always cheap, is it? So it is good. It's a good investment, I think, to take a course and then make sure you're getting the most out of. Because like when you started working, there was no such thing as a ball. Was it a ball vice?
No.
It was ball vice didn't exist.
Perhaps they were out there, but they weren't mainstream.
They weren't mainstream. Yeah. So there's a lot of things when you started that it's just you're quite techie and with it, and you like the new stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people just didn't have it and don't ever use it. I'm all for using anything that makes my life easier.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
but anything you're going to spend money on, it's always wise to have some sort of instruction on how to use it and the way to use it correctly. Because if you mess something up, it's a lot of money to be wasted, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think definitely. So I had the Graver Mac, I had the scope and everything, and I had that for years and years and years, and really didn't use it to its best ability. Yes, you can see things on YouTube, you can find things to watch, but actually having someone show you exactly what to do and what you are doing wrong really helps. When we had Ben Bent-Velsen over with us for 3 or 4 days last March, end of February, March time, and it was fantastic because you get to hear and to see exactly what you should be doing and where you're going wrong. And in fact, we're investing in more tuition, aren't we? In July, we're going to Lisbon to the GRS training centre, and we're having a week's tuition over there as well. So it really is important to get the correct instruction.
And it's like we were chatting with Matt from Freeform Fabrication, the company who does the laser welders, and they've got a training school, and I think that's amazing because you can buy a piece of equipment at, I don't know, a trade show or just something you think is going to help you in the workshop. And you want to get every penny out of that machine, don't you?
Yes, of course.
And yeah.
No, it's good.
You've got to make sure that you're using it. It's like the, we talked about it last week, and I don't want to go on and on, but it is brilliant, the graver sharpener.
Yes, the Euro graver sharpener.
And we got that, and Euro himself showed us how to use it. And now I'm sharpening my gravers efficiently, quickly, properly, really, really well, and I'm making things and people are buying them.
Yes.
And everyone's saying, you've come on so quickly. And I have put a lot of hours in, but I've got this brilliant tool
to be able to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, it's beneficial.
Exactly, yeah. So it's, yeah.
I think it's the difference between sort of not jumping along, muddling along, trying to do something to the best of your ability, but not quite getting it right.
Yeah.
Because in theory, to sharpen a graver is in theory easy, but in practice, it really is difficult to get the correct angles, to get it even, to get the faces right, to get the heel right. But if there's a piece of equipment that will be able to do that or enable you to do that faster, quicker, more efficiently and get a better result, and as a result of that, you're going to be able to do better work and then sell that work, well, then it's beneficial to buy that piece of equipment to enable you to produce the best quality work you can. Because otherwise, if you try and do your engraving with blunt or not polished gravers, the finish is not going to be there, you're not going to be happy with it, and you're not going to be able to sell anything.
I've probably paid for the machine. With
a few pieces. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Sarah says, how much should I mark up silver for client commissions?
It is difficult. I would always say at least 3 times what you pay for it. At least. This is the thing. I've always said you have a price, and if someone says, can you do any better, you always try and resist. But what you don't want to do is, if you do have to discount a piece, never discount your time. If you put a nice margin upon the silver, you can always discount the silver, although you're not going to be losing any money, but don't discount your time. And I think that really is important, isn't it? Absolutely.
Don't forget your sundries as well. So like your sanding drums and your things like this.
Polishing motors.
Everything you throw in the bin over like a week or maybe a month. Do a test, and every little thing that goes out into your bin or your sweeps, write it down, write down the unit cost, and just and just kind of like factor that over the number of things you're making, I guess. We talked about it on a workshop, over two workshops, didn't we? And it was quite detailed and it was really good. So yeah, stuff like that really, isn't it?
It is important to have an indication on what your costs are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even with things like, say you're doing your recycling, like with some of the pendants that Louise has been making, even though they are offcuts and they are pieces of metal that you have recycled. What you should do to price them up, you should price them up as if you've had to buy the metal, you've had to buy the casting grain to enable you to make them. And that's how you should be able to price up. You can't just turn around and go, oh, I've made this ring from scrap silver, so it's cost me nothing. No, because in theory, if you have to replicate it without using your scrap...
Yeah, you might not have any scrap next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'd have to factor that into your costings, definitely.
Yeah. Good. Linda said, would alligator tape be good for protecting your fingers when using the texture wheels? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
We've got some other type of tape coming into the store as well. We've got some 2-inch tape coming into the store over the next day or so. And that's going to be available in blue, black, red and green. So it's a bit wider than the alligator tape. It's a little bit more expensive than the alligator tape, but you don't have to use as much. It's done by 3M, 2-inch, and that'll be available in the store at thebench.store over the next couple of days.
Okay, good. Lord Mark says, how do you deal with lead solder removal from old gold pieces / repairs, pickling?
We will not touch anything that somebody has lead soldered. We took a bracelet in the other day, a charm bracelet, and someone has gone along and lead soldered every single jump ring that the charms were attached with. So when we bought it in for scrap, all I'm doing is cutting out every single jump ring, and I am throwing those into my, I'm sure I'll put it into my sweeps perhaps, because it's lead on it. If you try and heat up silver and it has lead on it, the lead will attack the silver and crumble it. With gold, again, I don't even think about trying to get the lead off. It just ruins the metal. It eats into the metal. I know there's some people out there who will put the piece in some solution that will dissolve the lead, but for me, if anybody has messed around with a piece, perhaps an old Victorian brooch that they've lead soldered a brass catch, or they've lead soldered the hinge on, and they want the brooch heated up, I will refuse to do it because it's just a disaster waiting to happen. So how do I handle it? I refuse to do it. Simple as that.
Not worth it, is it?
It's not worth the hassle, no.
Okay. Justin says, you had an offer a long time ago with Birmingham Asset Office for hallmarking. Is there anything coming up? Not that I know of.
Not in the pipeline.
But if you sign up as a Freeview at the Bench member, you're on the mailing list, and then you will get an email if anything like that comes up again.
Absolutely.
That's probably the best thing to do, I think.
Yes.
You'll get all the news.
Yes.
Tim, what is that process of heating sterling to pull the fine silver to the surface? Is that a thing?
It is. It is called depletion. So you heat up the sterling silver, you quench it in your pickle, your acid, put it in the water, you heat it up, quench it in the pickle, in the water, heat it up. Some people will get a brass brush and go over the surface. Don't really understand why that would be. I'm sure somebody will tell me the reason why, but you keep depleting, and what the depleting is, it's removal of metal. So you're removing the copper from the surface, you're removing the copper from the alloy. So every time you put it into the pickle, it removes a fraction of a millimeters layer of copper out of the silver, so it leaves the fine silver. And the more you keep heating and quenching, the thicker that fine layer will be. If you're trying to do things like brain's gone, reticulation, you need to do that perhaps 8, 9, 10 times to get a decent layer for that to melt. If you're trying to do reticulation,
do that on gold. I've seen that on gold.
They use a higher carat gold.
Okay.
They do, and it's exactly the same way they heat it.
So it brings the pure gold to the surface?
Yes. So it's the same principle, yes.
Oh.
Because again, so
it works with like
pure,
18 or...
Yeah, 18 carat, yeah. The pure metal melts at a lower temperature than the alloy. So the body stays still unmelted and the surface melts because it's a higher quality metal, yeah.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sarah says, I've had a disgruntled client and wanted to check. Oh, I'm sorry. It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, these things happen.
Yeah. Don't let it get you down.
No.
Yeah. email me if you want to chat about it. Finger cots from leather gloves, yeah. The brass gently removes any oxides in the granulated surface. Cool.
Good. So some says to remove as much lead as possible. Soak the piece in dilute acetic acid or concentrated vinegar. If not, it's not an easy process. All waste should be.
Sounds a bit dangerous.
Again, what you do with the solution. This is the problem. So personally, I wouldn't even bother.
Lead is nasty.
It is. I would just cut out the affected area, and then you can perhaps put a new piece of metal in its place. What you've got then you can dispose of in your scrap.
This is something we were talking with Lee about on our Instagram live the other day. You don't have to, it's not your responsibility to fix everything and put everything right. It's your job, and it's what we try and do, it's what we endeavour to do. But if something is too risky or you simply don't want to do it, you might not feel equipped to do it, then you don't have to do it. You can say no.
Yeah.
And that's what we always do with anything to do with lead. Is just no, we don't deal with it as a policy.
Yes, and if you look on our Instagram at the bench UK or at _the_bench_UK, go on there and you can see that our Instagram chats with Lee Malted, who's a trade workshop.
Juicy thing I want to ask Lee this week actually, because it's gemstone related.
Okay.
I won't give too much away. But what do you do? Shall I say or not?
It'd be interesting to know.
If I want to know what Lee does. So if a client comes in, and this happened in our workshop a couple of years ago, she came in with an emerald.
Yes.
And she said, I want this lovely emerald, which I bought on, I think she bought it on, I don't know, it was online somewhere. Yeah. Got this, and I think it was something like 12 carats.
It was big, wasn't it? It was huge.
And she said, I've got this emerald, and it's here's the proof, it's got this card. And I was like, it's just completely clean, nothing, just huge.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, okay, what do we say? I kept thinking, don't take it in. And I'm glad we were there, because if somebody took that in, and she's like, it's an emerald, and they're like, okay, and then we mount that in something and give it back to them, and then it later transpires that it's not an emerald in the first place. Yeah. We're in the frame.
Yes. So where do we stand?
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to ask Lee what...
So we'll be talking about that on Thursday.
Yeah, because not everybody has the... I mean, I was in this situation, I put it on my little Polariscope, and straight away, because I had my doubts, straight away, I had one of the crappy cards which just...
Yes, saying what it was.
It was really unprofessional. Put it on the Polariscope straight away, and it showed up that it wasn't splitting light. So I was like, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you it's definitely not an emerald. And
she said, oh, I love it so much, I want it mounted anyway.
And I said, but it's lovely. I said, look at the colour, it's a beautiful colour. I think it was probably glass, but I'm not going to say it's glass because I'll have to do some more tests. Yeah, I said, it's lovely, it's a really nice colour. She'd overpaid on a piece of glass, 100%, but that was fine. But like, what do you do if somebody comes in and leaves something and then you're like, ah? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so that's going to be the topic.
On Thursday, around about 1 o'clock, Thursdays on Instagram, on our Instagram channel, 1 o'clock. We do like a split screen with Lee. He's a trade repair gentleman workshop down in Plymouth. So come and join us and we talk all things repairs.
Good. Barbara says, when you're depleting, do you have to do both sides or just have the flame on the one side?
It doesn't matter because the metal is the same temperature front to back usually, so it doesn't matter. Both sides always get depleted because you're putting it into the acid. Acid affects both sides. You heat up the metal. Okay, perhaps the back may not be to the exact same temperature as the front, but it's within a few degrees and it's going to do both sides at the same time. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, lead, cadmium, antimony. Yeah, I wouldn't touch any of them. I wouldn't.
No,
I would advise you not to. Yeah. Lord Mark, for me, it's an old family heirloom brooch. $2,000 plus, so I plan to softly heat and lift off, then file and pray to God. Is this the... What's this? Is
Again,
this the lead?
if you do anything with lead,
Yeah.
don't use the same files as you use with your
Just try not
precious
to do anything
metals.
with lead. It's,
If you're going to do something, as someone said earlier, if you're going to try and get rid of lead, get a penknife and scrape it off. Don't use any emery paper, don't use any files on lead, because the lead's going to get trapped in the paper or in the files. You use those files upon silver, the lead's going to be transferred onto the piece, the lead attacks the silver will crumble and it'll be absolutely ruined. So if you're going to get lead, scrape it. But again, it may be an heirloom, but for the sake of
your health,
of leaving it as it is, and the possible consequences of something disastrous happening to it, I don't know what it's like, I don't know what your ability would be, but personally I would do my best to remove the visible amount of lead, but I wouldn't even think of warming anything up for the solder to melt to remove anything. I think it's going to be a problem, but if you do it and you do it successfully, good on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea filters. Yeah, Chelsea filters would have helped, but the Polariscope straight away, because I had a feeling it was probably glass, because there were other things that were making me think it was glass, but I could immediately say it's not emerald just from that one test.
Exactly.
May I ask where you announce and run the Thursday lives? I'm never able to find them on your Instagram. Do they run out? No, I think they're still, no, they are still there.
Yes.
And if you just go on the At the Bench Instagram page, it's just happening there.
Yeah. So I'm going to very quickly trying to find this on the overhead. So this is basically our Instagram channel. It's @the_bench_UK. There we go there. 38,000 followers. And if you just scroll down, by here you've got this. So this has got this us. And if you try and go forward on this, we do a split screen. So there's Lee. So it's on Instagram, usually Thursday, 1 p.m. Isn't it? It is. Yes, good.
Good. Yeah, lots of advice on the lead. Just to reiterate, our official advice is don't touch it.
Yeah.
So,
and if you do, be it on your...
Just don't touch it, yeah.
Exactly.
Good, okay. Any more questions?
Good. Just looking through here. Anything on here? No.
No?
No, nothing at all. All good. All good. Excellent. So, yeah, so we're going to be doing Tool of the Week.
Greetings from Monterey, California. Love your stream.
Thank you so much. It's
perfection
very kind.
in jewellery is overrated. Love ancient and medieval looking that shows up on Antiques Roadshow as found treasure. Handmade perfect. Yes, I agree. I love it. That's why I like doing my hammered and my wibblies and my... Yeah, I just like the look. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm with you all the way.
What do I say? I say make progress, not perfection.
Progress. You say practice makes progress.
So keep doing it. Don't aim for perfection. Obviously aim for perfection, but don't wait.
But I really
like to perfection.
Like the contrasts again. Like you've got the contrast of the shiny, highly polished, contrasting with the matte. Then you've got the wibbly contrasting with the orderly fashion of the stars.
Yes.
So you've got two elements of contrast in it, and that's what I like doing.
Yeah, it is nice.
Thank you.
You know, I do like them.
Thank you.
I don't like everything that you do, but that's...
You don't like a lot of things that I do.
That's personal.
Yeah, it is personal.
Very personal. But yes, but they are nice. I do like it.
Good. Ellen says, I'm considering buying an engraver / bezel pusher. Is pneumatic versions good, or should they be all mechanic? What should I look for and avoid?
A good way to tap over bezels is with a flex shaft and a hammer action handpiece. That would be a great way to be able to push over bezels. Definitely push over bezels. You can get a little adapter that goes into your, and I found it. I found it. Somebody was asking a year or 2 years ago, can you show us the Lion Punch Forge adapter for the hammer handpiece? And I have found it. It's this. It's nothing. I don't have the hammer handpiece up here, but I found this the other day. Lion Punch Forge. You screw this into your hammer handpiece, and then you put, I think it's like a 3mm or 2.35mm graver into here, and as the reciprocating handpiece does this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so it will act as a reciprocating, not quite pneumatic, but a reciprocating handpiece, and for engraving. So you can do that, and that is available from Lion Punch Forge very, very cheaply and very reasonably. You can also buy from GRS the Graver Mac. I think the Graver Smith is one of the basic pneumatic engraving machines that GRS do, but on top of that machine you need a compressor that gives the air to the machine. So even though the box may only be a few £100 or a few $100, you need to have a separate compressor. I think Bambi is the one that they recommend, but that's going to set you back quite a few £100 as well. So practice with something like this. First of all, if you want to try some engraving that is assisted using pneumatic or the hammer action handpiece. Yes, Lou.
Good. Cornelia says, do you have any suggestions on learning hand engraving?
There is a really good book from the NAG, N-A-G. It's an old book and it's all about engraving. It's a
Pneumatic. I'm having a hard time finding training for the pneumatic engraver.
Yeah, you're going to have to go on a course. If you want to, the thing is, if you want to learn how to engrave letters, numbers, that sort of thing, this book by the NAG Press, I think Penguin may have bought the books now, but it does, I think it's called Master Engraving. It is a very, very good book. It's an old book, but the technique of learning how to do lettering is exactly the same. Sam Alfano has some amazing DVDs. If you go to engraver.com, search on there, Sam Alfano's got some fantastic engraving DVDs. We've got a few of them. He will show you how to use the pneumatic graver system for doing running borders, all the different types of ornamental scrolls and ornamental type of rings as well. And there are other people out there who do a few DVDs. Even though they may be DVDs, you can also view them online, and you can pay to view these online. So engraver.com is a great resource for learning how to do graving. Definitely.
Good. Barbara, you're very welcome. Justin says, what is the graver machine called, please?
We use the GRS Graver Mac, M-A-C-H, Graver Mac AT. They do, I think, 3 different versions. Things that are called the Graver Smith, the Graver Mac AT, and the Graver Mac G8, I think. We got the Graver Mac AT that allows you to have 2 handpieces in the machine, and also an auxiliary output. That auxiliary output we use just to blow the bits and pieces away. So that's what we've got. But a Graver Smith is the nice, easiest, cheapest way to do it. But as I said, you need to buy the compressor to give the machine the compressed air as well. Yes. Yes.
Good. There's no other way to get any pneumatic engraver without a compressor then?
This is, again, I think there are NSET is a engraving machine that does not need a compressor, but the NSET is about £1,000. If you go onto Armitage Tools, they've got machines on there. I know Eura does a machine that does not need a compressor. I'm sure is it ProSet or NSET, they have them, but the machines are about £1,000. They do not need a compressor. It is just that machine itself. I've never tried one, never been lucky enough to try one, but that is what you can get. But they are a lot more expensive. Yes.
Okay. I suppose if you've got the compressor and the Graver Mac separate, if you upgrade your system, you can still use it with your old compressor.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's that.
So if you buy a Graver Smith, which is the basic model, and you want to think, oh, I need another handpiece, I need a bit more control, you can buy a new machine and you can keep the same compressor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely, yes.
Good. David says, what is the best way to mount a stone that is polished both sides and rounded, specifically a heart shape?
You can use something what's called a spectacle setting. If you remember at the bench, we've got a few films on spectacle settings, and it's basically...
It's domed on each face.
Yeah. So basically, if you've got the... So look at the side profile of a stone.
Can I just say, Cornelia is in Utah. If anybody knows, if anybody can recommend a good engraving course or training provider near to her, please put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, Jazz. Okay, so here is the side view.
She's ringing me now. What's for tea?
What's for tea? So this is the side profile of your stone here. So you've got a dome on both sides. So ideally you want a bezel that will go down and cover that edge. So you can either make a bezel that has perhaps like a double step like that. Like that. So you can have, no, Andrew, that's absolutely rubbish. It goes that way, doesn't it? There we go, that way. Okay, like that. So the stone sits in here, yeah, into that groove, and then you push this over, you push that over, you push this over, you push this over. Yeah, so then you basically use it like a double bezel, so you burnish over, and that will hold the stone in place. That's one of the best ways of doing it. You can also have something like a thin bezel that comes together, you know, like the old coins, the old like sovereign coins. It's a very flexible edged mount that comes across, comes all the way around and comes up like this. And on the one half, you've got a little jumping that way. And on the other half, you've got another jumping that way. So then your piece or your coin is enclosed in here. This is like a channel that is this sort of shape. So then your coin sits in here or your gemstone will sit in there. This is so flexible, you can wrap it around the piece, come together, overlap those jump rings and then put a jump ring through. So you have both coming together, you put the jump ring through to hold them together. But if you remember about the bench, we've got spectacle settings on there. Go and check them out.
Good.
And if you're not a member, join up for £20 for a month and look around. Good.
Good.
Anything else we need to talk about then, Louise?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's just message.
I've just messaged her back.
You have,
it's
you?
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
no worries. Oh dear, I haven't been recording this Q&A. Just looking. I forgot to record. Never mind. Not to worry.
That's what happens when you come to work late.
Exactly, isn't it? Okay, on that note, then should we aim to close? Because it is 5 o'clock.
It's that
we have
time.
one more question. Do we have one more question?
We haven't got another question.
Excellent. We shall end it there then. It's bang on 5 o'clock. So next Monday, we're not here. We are at the GC and DC Awards. If you want to check out the awards, it is streamed live on YouTube. So go onto YouTube and search for the GC and DC or the Goldsmiths Craft and Design Council. The awards are broadcast live on YouTube. You may see me in the background. I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure. They told, obviously, we're helping the organisation of it, and they said dress to impress.
Oh, that's like a red rag to a bull with you, isn't it? So God knows what you're going to turn up in.
So, hang on, no, I'll be decent. So I've got this beautiful red velvet jacket.
Oh, that would be nice.
So I may wear a beautiful red velvet jacket.
So we won't miss you.
You won't miss me. Or I've got a black velvet jacket with gold, and I haven't worn it yet, with all gold swirls all over it.
What do you think, guys? The
I'm
red
not
or
quite
the black
sure.
and gold?
I'm not quite sure which one. Perhaps I'll do a little bit of a poll on Instagram. Which jacket shall I wear? I'll put that up. Yes, it's going to be cool. Everything. All right then. Should we go?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. As I said, we're not here on Monday. We are doing some films behind the scenes for our next workshop, which is going to be all about lost wax casting. That will come later on this month. It'll be almost like a pre-recorded films, because it's going to be very difficult to get the whole process of lost wax casting together in the space of a few hours. So we're going to be doing that over the next few weeks, ready to go live towards the end of the month. Excellent. Louise,
Good.
anything else to say before we go?
No, I'm looking forward to that though.
It'll be good, won't it? Everyone
good.
wants to know about lost wax casting, and that's what we're going to
I
be
think
doing.
it's really interesting, even if you're not going to do it yourself in your workshop, because there's a bit of equipment, isn't there? But it's really good to know, because then when you sent it to a caster's, that's exactly what happens. So it's good to know the process, because then if any client asks if you are outsourcing your casting, it's really good to know the process in detail, isn't it? Because then you can explain.
To educate them.
Yeah, and you can actually use it as a selling point. Like with my castle walls, I say that the technique used to produce the jewellery, even though it's cast and not mass produced, but has the potential to be mass produced, but the technique is older than the 12th century castle.
Exactly. It's ancient. It's
cool.
amazing,
It's
isn't it?
very cool, yeah.
Good. So that will be coming up in March. Again, we're not here next Monday, so you can watch the GC&DC Awards live. I think it starts at 5 o'clock on YouTube, and see if anybody can catch me wearing my snazzy new jacket. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Just keep an eye out on Instagram on Thursday, round about 1 p.m, when we're going to be talking about gemstones.
It's going to be a good one.
And repairs.
It's specifically about how we approach gemstones in repairs and how we describe them, what we do,
And
what we
taking
don't do,
procedures.
when we take them in, when we don't take them in, pitfalls. Yeah,
It's going to be a good one.
it's going to be a really juicy one.
Okay, say goodbye, Louise.
Bye.